Hi, I wanted to talk about this really interesting relationship between the mind and the body today, and the power that the body has over the mind and the mind has over the body. So when it comes to focusing on revolutionizing our physical health, I think what we do is sometimes only look at it from one dimension. We tend to kind of just look at the physical body, and we look at the weight here and here, and and we start to kind of only focus on what we can do physically. So we might change up our food, we might exercise, but one thing that we eliminate sometimes is the power that the mind has over the physical. Now, only focusing on the physical doesn't work for a lot of reasons. And here's why. Your nervous system ties directly into your gut. So whatever you're absorbing affects your ability for your nervous system to function properly. So let's reverse that for a minute and say that your nervous system is shot because of the amount of stress that you have, because of the way that you think and perceive life, which could be causing unnecessary struggle and stress internally. That system feeds into the gut, and the gut feeds into that system. Okay, your neurotransmitters, which are the happy feel-good hormones that we have, they're actually created in the gut. And so if our stress levels are really, really high, then what can happen is that can have a direct negative effect on our physical health. And it's kind of amazing that we're getting to this point of humanity where we're only just starting to realize that the way that we think and feel actually has a direct impact on our physical health. This is something that I've known for a really long time, based on the way that I kind of treated my body when I was a lot younger. I didn't treat it very well, and my mental health followed. And then once I found the tools mentally, my physical body followed with the healing. So if you think of someone who has, say, Alzheimer's or dementia, where their mind actually starts to fail, the body follows. That's what they eventually die from. Okay, so there is this very clear relationship between the two. Being in a state of stress limits your ability to digest and for your body to go into rest and digest mode. Okay, so limited digestion then affects the amount of nutrients that you need to be able to create neurotransmitters, which are the happy, feel-good and balancing hormones of the body that not just help us feel good, that have a lot of roles for every kind of organ and bodily system. So the thing is about nutrients is that they also affect our cellular and brain health, okay? If we want to have really happy cells that feed into and transport nutrients and energy to every part of the system, we need nutrients to be able to do that. But the thing about cells is that they're massively infected by your environment. So whatever it is that you have around you, whether you feel happy and safe and connected to the environment that's around you, affects your cellular health. And I'd really like to give you an example of this. When a couple of years ago on retreat, maybe 5 years ago, we introduced using the technique of live blood analysis, where we actually get to look at the quality of someone's cells as opposed to counting blood or counting what's in the blood. Live blood analysis is really interesting because it shows you, I guess, not just what's sitting in and around the blood, but it also shows you the energetics of the body. Cells are little energy bubbles that transport to each other. And what we started to notice about doing live blood analysis is that when we would go and see the GP to do this, she would give her analysis, and she would, kind of give a plan for her clients as per normal based on what she saw under the microscope. What we were doing on retreat is working on this, via mindfulness and meditation and yoga and mindset and coaching. So we were working very hard on this. And what we started to see, and even the GP was shocked, is that within a week to 2 weeks, we were seeing results that would normally take her 2 to 3 months. Okay, and she was like, "How are you doing this?" And I'm like, "It's because we're also working on this." And the thing is that once your cellular health is energized and strong, your ability for every bodily system to transform and heal is is sped up massively. So this is where your mental and emotional state has a direct impact on your energy, your cells, you know, those little bouncing balls that are kind of running around in the body. The way that we think and feel definitely affects them. And I saw this literally with my own eyes when we had a girl on retreat. Her cells are kind of over there under the microscope, and we only take a prick of blood. So there's, obviously we have millions, trillions, I think they've realized now, of cells in the body. So there's only a handful of them under the microscope, even though there's hundreds on the screen. And those cells are disconnected to her. Her blood is there and we're sitting over here. And I can't remember what happened, but her and I started laughing about something. And as she laughed, all of the cells on the screen started to like literally dance and move. And we were like, oh my gosh. And the GP was like, have you never seen this before? And we're like, no. And she said, yeah, they're still connected to you. That's your energy. And it absolutely blew me away. So what I wanted to talk about is this ability to really encourage you to work on your mental and emotional state, for then it in turn to be able to really, really affect the health and the energy of your body. And one of the first ways that we can do this is to start changing the perception that we have of ourselves and our body by using the simple tools that I have on my site, like mindfulness and all of the coaching tools that I have there. Because the way that you see yourself and perceive yourself and treat yourself through self-care, the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you perceive life, this has a profound effect on your health. And think about it when you feel positive, how much lighter you feel, how much energy you have. It gives us the physical kind of composition that we want to be able to approach life with. We actually have the energy when this starts to shift. The other thing that I want you to think about is doing more of what you love. Because when I saw those cells dance, I realized that laughter, happiness had a direct impact on every single trillion cell in my body. And that was then affecting every organ, the health of my blood, my hormones, everything is affected. So doing more of what you love, laughing to literally make your cells dance, doing things that excite you, doing things that make you feel free and joyful. And these are all choices. These are easy things that we can bring into our days and our weeks whenever we want to. Even if it's just thinking of something that makes you smile. Just think about the impact that will have on the whole of your body. Repeating affirmations to yourself, especially if you have issues where you give yourself a hard time or you don't like the way that you look, or even affirmations for life. So creating your own affirmation. You know, there's nothing wrong with positive self-talk and repeating really beautiful affirmations or mantras or statements to yourself every day that are positive, that remind you of how wonderful you are, and that remind you to look at life in a more positive light, to kind of put those rose-colored glasses on. Doing kind things for your body. So when we start to develop this art of like self-care, these can be really little things where, nice oils, nice sprays, nice mists, doing yoga. Like there's so many nice things that we can do for our body, even if it's getting a really beautiful oil and massaging that into our skin, buying a beautiful facial mist, any of those really beautiful things where you can have little touches throughout the day, or even just once a day, where you're acknowledging how amazing this body is, and really nurturing it with the way that you think about yourself, with the gifts that you give to yourself. And just reminding yourself to respect the body. I think a lot of us get so busy and so caught up in here that we forget the two legs that are carrying us and the body that's kind of walking us through this life. So doing anything that you can through, say, presence, even if it's a quiet walk on your own, and really just, even if it's once a day, just saying to yourself, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this body that I'm living in. So I hope this has been helpful to kind of give you an understanding of how it is the mind and the body work together, and how you can make very, very small changes to have a profound effect on your health, just by working with here, and then how it is through the way that you treat your body, even through nutritious food, doing small things every day to then be able to have a more profound effect on positivity in the mind. So I hope it's been helpful. Have a great day.